Hello everyone and welcome to a new Manu's podcast. And here is Manuel, and I will be your host for the next 10 minutes more or less. And what is this about? It's basically a podcast about some arguments which I will be try to discuss and give you some sort of other perspective and make you think about some stuff, or actually it's enough to think. I'm not interested in convincing anyone about anything, but just to trigger some sort of sparks. So every time I come out with a new argument, and today, what is gonna be? Every time is different. So today I want to try to talk about some very important topic. It is in the world of cryptocurrencies. Now, these cryptocurrencies have been exploding in the past years, and everyone, or most of the people that have put money in it, just made more money. How is it possible? Well, basically because they keep going up. That's it. Like, you could just do nothing and put like 100 pounds or euros or dollars in there, and that's fine. You're gonna be good. Like, it's very likely that in 10 years it's gonna be 100 times more than those $100 that you put in. So I don't really want to convince you to do anything or invest. Actually, what I want to do here is sort of trigger a big warning to everyone that is invested and or is thinking to invest, and I'm gonna be saying pay attention to some things that are happening, and also what you can do about it if you still want to be inside or go into cryptocurrencies. So in the next minutes, I will be basically talk about the main problems that are gonna I think are gonna appear next year, not in this month. And I'll be also talking about what you can do to sort of get the most out of it, because that's what, as an investor in particular, you want to do. Truth is, a singular person cannot do much. You cannot save the world. The world, if it's deemed to do, it's deemed to go down, you cannot really do much about it. But as an investor, there is every time things go down, there is always an opportunity. Unfortunately, that's what it is. And if you become a very wealthy investor, then you can sort of start making big decisions, and therefore can sort of trigger very nice virtuous signals probably in the market or in the world. Let's put it in this way. So what I want to talk about. So I want to talk about the next things that are gonna be very relevant in cryptocurrencies, in particular in 2022. And I've been talking, so I've been investing in crypto for the past 2 years. This year I've been pretty much positive with a very nice return of 25%. Doesn't really matter how I started and how much money I made, but the important is that I've been constant through all this year. I tended to be on average positive. That's the most important part, which means I'm more confident in my investments and also on what I'm talking about. So what I want to talk about in this podcast is what are the next things that are gonna make the crypto market crash. And you therefore have to pay a lot of attention, first to the news sites and then to what is gonna happen to the prices of every coin. So obviously the biggest point, the most important cryptocurrencies are Bitcoin and Ethereum. Then there are all the others. Choose whatever you want. It doesn't matter, because respect these things, they will all go down if these things happen, and it's very likely that they will happen. So first things first is Evergrande. So the first thing that is gonna probably trigger a downtrend market is Evergrande. What it is Evergrande? Evergrande is a huge company in China that has like 320 billions in debt. It's a huge amount of money, and it looks like they cannot repay it back. So they have to give the money back to a lot of people and a lot of companies. And this is a big problem. It's a problem that might reflect in cryptocurrency. How is that possible? Well, Evergrande is a company in the real estate. It made houses. How can it ever be possible that it can relate to cryptocurrencies? Truth is that it doesn't. It's not. But even though it doesn't affect it directly, it is extremely likely that it will affect the prices indirectly. How? Well, the thing is that someone gave money and some companies gave money to Evergrande. Now, they give money to Evergrande in the expectation that they would basically get money back. Now, these companies have their own investors, which they have to pay somehow. Now, the expectation is for everyone is that Evergrande pays these companies back, and then the companies themselves will give money somehow back to the investors, their own investors. Now, this is a problem. So if Evergrande is not gonna be able to pay the companies back, then the companies have to find some way to give money back to the investors. So they can fail, or they can start selling what they have, which usually they say assets. Now, it's extremely likely that there are some companies that have invested in Evergrande that have assets also in cryptocurrencies. So what they're gonna do if Evergrande is not gonna pay back? They have to pay investors. They're gonna be like, well, we are not gonna get money from Evergrande, we need to get money somewhere else, otherwise we are bust. Well, but we have some assets in cryptocurrencies because they have always been growing, and you just make some money, which is nice, why not? Therefore we sell all these coins. Doesn't really matter the price, because otherwise we are bust. And that's what the indirect consequences of Evergrande failing in $320 billion repayment. 320 billion is a huge amount. You can be sure that there are a lot of money that somehow is linked to a company that has assets in cryptocurrencies. So if Evergrande, if you ever go to the news in if you ever read in the news that Evergrande is failing, bankrupt, anything related to that, you're gonna see prices go down immediately. So what you're gonna do in this case is, well, just sell. Don't wait, don't hold in this case. Now, this was the first cause of a possible drop in the market in 2022. It's very likely that Evergrande is gonna fail in 2022, in fact. The next one is Tether. So there is a big problem with Tether, which looks like to be more and more of a scam. The problem of Tether is that it's a stable coin, which is also one of the most unfortunately trusted crypto to or crypto stablecoin that's been used to trade in the crypto market. So a lot of bitcoins have basically been paid with Tether, and also it looks like that Tether himself, through the help of BitMEX, which is unfortunately an exchange platform which is extremely connected to Tether. In fact, the same owners of Tether are basically the same owners of this. Hello, this is Future Me, and I'm sorry, I was wrong. I just double checked. It is not BitMEX that has the same managers of Tether, but it's another crypto exchange. So it is actually Bitfinex that has the same managers of Tether. So Tether basically used Bitfinex to buy bitcoins.
using USD Tethers that they just created out of thin air. And now let's get back to the podcast.
They have basically decided to do something extremely amazing. Just the Tether guys decided to create Tether from nowhere and then buy in the exchange that they have bitcoins. So what's the problem with this is that this means that there are more Tether than USD reserves that the company has somehow. Now they say, Tether says that they can still cover up the money, the Tether money, with their holdings in Bitcoin, which is a huge problem. Because if the Bitcoin price decreases, or Bitcoin or Ethereum, I guess, they probably have both. If these prices go down too much, it means that Tether has not enough assets or USD that can use to repay back people. So if people lose trust in Tether and they start asking money back to Tether, the company, obviously they have to give the money back. So they're gonna receive Tether and gonna give back USD. And as you know, since it's a stable coin, 1 Tether USD is equal to 1 USD, $1. But if the Bitcoin price in that scenario is too low, they're not gonna be able to pay it back. And what they can only do is just starting selling Bitcoin. So let's put things in sequence. What is this? Bluebird of Happiness? Okay, let me start with the previous one again. So if Tether, so let's imagine that a lot of people lose trust in Tether and they start to ask money back to Tether. What is gonna happen? Tether is gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna give you money. I'm gonna give you money. And then they finish their USD reserves. They're like, okay, now to pay people back, we need to sell Bitcoin assets. So when people start selling in the crypto market, prices tend to go down because they're obviously gonna be willing to pay lower prices in order to get money immediately, fast. Now, the more the Bitcoin price go down, the less money they will be able to get for every Bitcoin that Tether has. And therefore, they're probably gonna drown in their own, in the puddle that they actually are, in the mud that they put themselves in. So it's very important that Tether never loses his trust. But with a lot of things that are happening and have been talked about Tether, it's very likely that it's gonna lose his trust in 2022. So pay attention. If you read in the news, Tether is a scam, Tether hearing and everything and this and that, you sell immediately. Don't wait for the price to go down and be like, it's gonna go up again. It's not probably gonna be up on the same level. Because before, the price of Bitcoin was pumped by Tether. If Tether is not gonna be there anymore to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum when they dip, and they used to do that, then this is gonna be a huge problem. So just remember, Evergrande in the news, default, you sell. Tether scam in the news, you sell. Earrings, you sell immediately. Then the last one, which was sort of insane, I've recently discovered this one, and it looks like that Binance is offering insane leverage values to people that are willing to invest on its platform for some Bitcoins. Also, it depends. It is true, it also depends how much money you're gonna put in it. But the leverage that they're willing to put for investors is insane. For example, they are offering, normally you would, if you ever want to do something like this, using leverage, which is a financial tool, you probably use leverage to buy a crypto for like 2x, 3x, 5x maximum. Doesn't really make any sense more than that. It's extremely risky. They are offering from 10 to 50 to 20 to 50 to 100 leverage, which is insane. Now you're probably wondering, what the hell is leverage? Why should I care about this? Well, so leverage, it's a financial tool offered by a bank or institution. How does it work? You basically say, this coin increased by 1%, but I really want to get the maximum out of it. I would love to make 10% from that 1%. But unfortunately, I have 100 pounds or 100 euros or $100. I'm gonna put it in, and if the price raises by 1%, what I can get out of is 101. You're sure, right? Okay. So imagine that instead you think, if only I had more money. So leverage tools, the leverage financial tool comes in. How does it work? Instead of using your own money, you basically put a deposit in a bank or institution, or even in Binance, which basically acts as an intermediary, I guess. So Binance or this institution will get these $100, pounds, and euros, and it's gonna tell you, okay, how much leverage do you want to use? And let's assume that you want 1 to 10%. So we want to get a 10% of your gains out of 1% increased price. You say, I want a 10x leverage or 10x gains out of 1%. So they're gonna be like, okay, how can I transform a €1 gain to basically €10? So I put 100 euros, and somehow, and the price is going to increase by 1%. I want to actually get a 10% out of that 1%. Therefore, I should be getting 110 somehow. How does it work? So I put 100 euro inside the bank. The bank is gonna ask me the leverage. I'm gonna tell 10 because I want to get 10 euros instead of 1. They're gonna be like, okay, so of these 100 euros as a deposit, I'm gonna give you, or actually they're not gonna give it to you, they're gonna buy for you that coin, and they're gonna use 100 pounds, 100 euros, $100.
Hello, future me again, and they're not gonna use $100, euros, or pounds. They're gonna use 1,000 of their own money, and they're gonna keep around that 100 deposit that you give to the bank or financial institution. So they're not gonna use 100, as I was saying, but they're gonna use 1,000, and that's how they basically multiply, or you get these 10 euros of that 1% increase, because a 1% increase of 1,000 is 10. That's it. So back to the podcast.
So if there is a 1% increase, what is gonna happen is that the gain of those 1,000 euros is gonna be, or the output of 1% increase will be 1,010. At that point, your leverage is gonna be triggered, because you set maximum value, and probably, I hope you set a minimum value, and then they're gonna give you back, the bank is gonna get back 1,000, and then they're gonna give you back 100, that was your deposit, plus 10, which was your gains. Now, in this perfect world, you wouldn't see why the bank would do it. There is no gains. Truth is, they're gonna apply some fees. So instead of 100, and instead of giving you 10, they're probably gonna 110. They're probably gonna give you 108, something like this. Some fees here and there. So the more of these tools they apply, the more money the banks do make. So that's how the 10x leverage checks out. But then it's like, okay, this was a good run. you're gonna try again. The problem is that this is a market, so things can go up, things can go down. And what happens to the 100 pounds? Why did you have to put a deposit? The deposit, it's in there in case of losses. So imagine the case of this coin, or this the coin that you wanted to invest, it drops 10%. This means that the bank put 1,000 pounds or dollars or euros, is gonna see that it's now 900. At that point, he's gonna be like, you know what? I don't like this anymore. I'm gonna call this out, the bank, because otherwise I'm gonna be at a loss. So what they're gonna do is gonna sell the 900 pounds, 900 euros, $900 worth of the coin. They're gonna take everything from your deposit, put it at the back of their 900, so they still have 1,000. The bank is still 1,000, and then they're gonna tell you, well, we had to do a margin call on you and your position. You have lost everything. Therefore, that's the problem with leverages. It amplifies the gains, but also it amplifies the losses. Because if you put 100 pounds, dollars or euros with a 10x leverage, if the coin drops 10%, you lose everything. This wouldn't be possible in a normal scenario of you just going and buy the coin directly. You would have still 90 pounds and you would have lost only 10 pounds instead of 100. So that you can hope that the price can go up again, because markets are volatile all the time. So this is how the leverage works. And what's the problem with this Binance offering such high leverage on their own platform? It's people, they're gonna go crazy. They're gonna be like, oh my god, they're gonna gamble basically on the crypto market, because obviously Binance it's a crypto exchange. It's one of the most famous ones and also one of the most shady ones in my opinion. And they're gonna be like, okay, you can do this, but if things go badly, we're gonna take out everything, all the money that you put in your position. If things go up, we're gonna give you money. But imagine that you have 5 pounds and they're gonna be like, you know what, I'm gonna apply 100x leverage with the hope to, instead of getting €1, an increase of 1%, you're basically gonna double to 5 €5. You're gonna double it. But if things drop of 1% and you apply a leverage of 100%, you're gonna lose your €5, but you don't give a shit because it's just €100. But how much money did the bank put to get those €5? They put 500 for you. Now this was the case of €5. Now imagine that I can put €50, or pounds or dollars, I don't care. 100 times 50, it's 5,000. So they put 5,000 pounds and euros because you wanted to risk on your side 50, which is probably relatively low. So if I put instead decided to do a 100x leverage to €500, you see that the value of these things tend to grow linearly with how much money do I put, and they tend to disappear very quick, meaning that if the price goes too low, the bank doesn't care about the crypto thing. They're like, yeah, you decided to make this, we are gonna go out of the position whatever happens if your deposit finishes. Now, what does it mean for the crypto market? If Binance is offering all of these tools, it means that there are a lot of people that are using it, which then means that we are in a euphoria situation of the crypto market, which then means, if this is true, and you assume it's true, this means that we are in a crypto bubble, And if the price goes too down, for a lot of people in the Binance market at least, there are gonna be a lot of margin calls are gonna be triggered on their leverages, and the price can go extremely badly down. So now this is not gonna probably hit the news because no one really understands how leverage works, and no one really can associate with Binance or not. So what is gonna happen, it's probably one day you're gonna see the price just go down, then go down, and then go down a lot. Now imagine this situation, I'm gonna give it to you. Imagine that the Evergrande starts failing and you read it in the views. The price is gonna go drop down. Now people might start getting this song, man. Well, anyways, people are gonna sort of go out of crypto. The price is gonna go down because some companies decided to go out of their crypto positions because Evergrande is not gonna pay them back. Remember, Evergrande has to own $320 billion to a lot of people. Now imagine that the crypto market loses its trust, and so people start taking out money from Tether, which is one of the most important ones. Then Tether is gonna be like, damn it, we need money to give for these people that are asking money back to us. So they're gonna sell their own assets in Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc., which is gonna drive the prices even go further. Then you're gonna have people that are in extremely high position in leverages starting falling like flies because their margin calls are gonna be all cold. What does it mean? That this means that this is gonna drive the prices even further. Now, what's the end goal of all of this? What I'm trying to say is that this is the worst scenario ever that I can think of for 2022, maybe 2023. Actually, it's probably gonna be 2022 because Evergrande is gonna fail next year for sure. It's not gonna be able to repay all the debt. I'm not sure about the Tether and the Binance cycle, how it's gonna be triggered if one before the other. So what I'm gonna ask you, if you really want to invest in Bitcoin and Ethereum or crypto market in general, do it. Don't worry because things tend to go down. But as soon as some bad news, really bad news about Evergrande, Tether or Binance come out, somehow sell it immediately. Do not even think about it. You might see at minus 10% on your investment. You just go out of that. What you're gonna do is what you're gonna see, it's basically a minus 20, 30, 40, 50% of the prices of all major coins. At that point, as an investor, you start deep buying probably, but very small amounts. Do not go crazy because I don't know what is gonna be the bottom. It might even go even lower than that. But it might be a good position to start buying, who knows, or when you feel like, because these things are gonna drop like flies one after the other, maybe. Anyway, forget about the timing because I have no clue. Forget about the amount. I'm gonna just give you, pay attention to the news and sell as much as you can when they come out. And afterwards, when you feel comfortable, wait for the storm to pass and then buy back again, because believe me, things will go up again. Crypto are not here to go, but they are here to stay. It's true that bad things are gonna be happening, but usually this is due to some rebalancing or cleaning cycles that they definitely need, because there are too many scams, too many shady people, shady institutions around it, and this is gonna basically clean everything. So, and if you think about your investments, how you can achieve this, well, basically find any website that offers you exchange. Please do not use Binance, and then you sort of control day by day what is gonna happen. Do not, for the next year, I don't know if you have hardware wallets or wallets of your own, I wouldn't really suggest to have crypto on your hardware wallet, except you know what you're doing or you want to try with small amounts. Give it a try. But I would suggest you to to basically have a medium position, which is a position that you can keep for some months. You usually have nice gains of 7-10%, and then you just sort of sell. Medium positions are good because they can sell at any point, and you should be using a exchange website for those positions. Long-term positions, instead, you usually want to have it for a long time, so therefore you put a hardware wallet. So that's what I wanted to talk about. I hope that I was as clear as possible and you like what I was talking about. If you liked, please subscribe and smash that like button. Hopefully I get some I see some nice things coming out of this video. See you next time. Bye.